Step one, wake up early, gonna rise with the sun. Step two, get some good, some food in you. Step three, think real hard about what you wanna be. Step four, everybody just do your thing.
Hello everybody and welcome back to the Rob Talks YouTube channel. And this week, today's video topic is in fact going to be on sleep, which is ironic because I'm recording this before I go to bed and it'll be edited and uploaded right before I go to bed. So as you can clearly tell already, I need to improve my sleep schedule. But the reason I wanted to talk about sleep is that over the previous weeks, I've been learning about sleep from both friends and even investigating it further myself. And I've found out about how important sleep is for both our mental health and our physical health. But I have had previous assumptions in terms of that. I always thought that it was all to do with the amount of hours of sleep that you got, and that it was all to do with your kind of things that you maybe did beforehand, or I had some assumptions which I'm sure others who are watching have had as well, which it turns out my assumptions were wrong. The key for you to be able to have a good night's sleep is in fact all to do with the amount of REM sleep that you get. This is the deep sleep that you have when you are sleeping, and REM stands for rapid eye movement. And the best way to think about really how much REM sleep you are getting, it's been shown that there is a correlation between that. If you get really good REM sleep, then they are usually the times when you dream the most. But the reason why REM sleep is so important is because you could have 8 hours of sleep and you could wake up the next morning and feel really groggy and feel as though you haven't had a good night's sleep at all. But you could then sleep the next night and you could only get, say, 6 hours of sleep. But you actually wake up and you feel a lot better. That's because you may have had more REM sleep within the 6-hour period than the 8-hour period. And so we have to do as much as we can within our sleep routine, our sleep schedule, to make sure that we can get as much REM sleep as we possibly can. Ideally, it is suggested that between a 7 to 8 hour period, we really want about 25%, so a quarter of that time, to be REM sleep. And that's something that you can monitor through apps and through loads of health monitoring technology that is out there now. But preferably, we want about 25% of our sleep to be REM sleep. So, how do we do this? One of the key things that I'm trying to do in my own life is making sure that you have less blue light before you go to sleep. And of course, this comes from your phone, this comes from your computer, this can even come from other lights that you may have in your room. Try and reduce the amount of light that you have before going to bed, because the more blue light that you take in, the more that your body is telling you to stay awake and that you need to be alert and ready for if anything is going to happen. So make sure that you set yourself up well for getting to sleep and going to bed by reducing the amount of light. Also, another thing that you can do is make sure that you include exercise within your day. By including exercise within your day, it will in fact make you more tired and ready for that sleep. And hopefully overall it should give you a feeling of tiredness, which makes you want to go to bed. And that's what can be a key factor in terms of whether you're going to get a good night's sleep or not. Something else to consider is what's your sleep schedule like. Make sure that you are going to sleep at a regular basis. Because if you go to sleep consistently at, say, 10 or 11 o'clock and you're consistently going to bed at that time, if you do that on a repeated basis, your circadian rhythm will adjust according to that time. And it means that you'll have a lot better night's sleep and you're much more likely to wake up consistently at the same time. The thing that can screw up the amount of REM sleep that we get and our sleep schedule is when it's all over the place. So it's trying to make sure that we can consistently get that point of where we go to bed and we are saying, this is when I'm going to go to sleep. There are also other things that can influence our sleep massively in terms of caffeine intake, and if you've had alcohol, or if you've taken drugs or anything like that, that can also affect your REM sleep and can affect your sleep schedule. And so it's important to make sure that you realize that if you've had a bad night's sleep, that it could be because of X thing that you've had the day before. It could be even from having a coffee in the afternoon. That could be enough caffeine to affect your sleep that very night. And so it's making sure that you try to optimize your healthy lifestyle and your choices and your behavioral choices throughout the day to make sure that you're going to have that great night's sleep. So if there's anything that you take away from this video, think about those points I've gone through and think about how you can improve your REM sleep. Because at the end of the day, who doesn't want to dream more and who doesn't want a better night's sleep? It will massively help you in terms of your mental well-being and your physical health. And that's something that I feel are always my two priority number ones. My highest priorities within my life is focusing upon my own health. So see how you can within the next week, or even before you go to bed tonight, make sure that you're going to get a good night's sleep and get as much REM sleep as you possibly can. Thank you so much for listening to another Rob Talks video, and I will see you next week after I've had some sleep for the next Rob Talks video.
Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. 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 Yo. Set your affirmations, aspirations. I got shit to do, the aftermath of preparation. Good food.